For more than 20 years, H.B. London was the pastor's pastor from Focus on the Family. His job was to minister to the pastors and get a pulse on where they are and encourage them. I don't know anybody in the country that has had a bigger role or had a better pulse on where the pastorate has been in the United States over the last few years than H.B. London. H.B. is a longtime friend of mine, and every time I'm with H.B., I always ask him the same question: is the statistic the same? He knows what I'm talking about because he gave me this statistic years ago. Amazing statistic. He told me that 85% of all the pastors in the United States have considered quitting the ministry in the last 12 months because of the apathy of the people in the pews. I mean, that's a staggering statistic. I mean, we're trying to hang on, and we find out that our pastors are trying to hang on. But what is causing discouragement with most of our pastors today is the apathetic viewpoint of their congregants. I mean, a pastor is anointed, he prays, he seeks God, he goes out, he pours out his heart, and at 5 minutes to 12, the congregants are looking at their watch and saying, where we're going to go to lunch. You can see it in their faces, they're getting antsy. I better close this off, I'm losing my people. And he stands at the door, and people are saying, hey, how about those Dodgers last week? Or everything but the sermon, and talk about how wonderful the sermon was, what it meant to them. And it's like, why am I doing this? People aren't even grasping what I'm telling them. And I pour out my heart, I seek God all week, and they're not listening to me. What is wrong? What's going wrong here? Is it even worth it? Maybe I shouldn't be a pastor anymore. And I heard for pastors who feel that way, and some of you watch this right now are probably in that situation. I have to tell you that they're apathetic because they're not in the game. They're just not in the game. John Maxwell, I love John Maxwell. I love everything he says. He says everything 10 times, 1,000 times better than I do. And years back, I heard him speaking. He talked about, we've all been educated way beyond our level of obedience. We're being taught all this, but we're not doing it. We're not going out and exercising our role as Christians. And that's a mistake. That's a mistake. There is this scripture, pastors. There's two. In Ephesians 4:11, talks about your role is to equip us for ministry. Your role, the role of pastors, teachers, evangelists, prophets, is that you're a gift to the church to teach us and equip us for ministry. Your ministry is to us, our ministry is to the world. And there's this other scripture that talks about how are the lost going to know unless somebody tells them? How is somebody going to tell them unless somebody goes to them? And how is somebody going to go to them unless they are sent? And pastors, you're not sending us. Oftentimes you're not sending us. You're teaching us, you're edifying us, you're blessing us all kinds of knowledge. But you're not sending us out and telling us, now take that knowledge to the world. You need to take that knowledge to the world. In car guy terms, we talk about the church not being our service, it's the service station. You're setting us up, you're filling our tanks, and then sending us out on our journey. The church is half the cycle. The other half of the cycle is the meaningful part of the cycle. That's what we are created for. And quite frankly, it's the most fun. If you're not doing this outside the walls of the church, you're missing out on all the fun and all the benefits of being a Christian. I mean, it's so cool. It is so great. So pastors, I think it's real simple. I mean, pardon me, I'm a layman. I'm a professional layman. I've been to church all my life, okay? And I've done the work of the church. And we have to support the church. We have to love on our pastors. We have to do that. But when we're in the game, I mean, we're excited and all kinds of miracles are happening. Guess what? We're coming in not apathetic. On Sunday mornings, we're entering His gates with thanksgiving and praise. We can't wait to get in there and praise God. I mean, it's just like, wow, God, you're so good. What a week. All the wonderful things that happened this week. I can't thank you enough. And then when the time comes for the presentation of the gospel, I mean, out come the notepads, because guess what? We need as much ammunition as we could possibly get for this next week, for the encounters we're going to have this next week. So the cycle is complete. And we're hanging on what you're saying. You're feeding us. We're sharing it. We're the extension of your ministry, okay? And that brings for a healthy church. I got to tell you, if you're having apathy in your church, you're not going to have it anymore if you just get us off the bench and into the game.